Hello everybody and welcome back to Be Joy in the Kitchen. I'm Be Joy and this is my kitchen. So welcome today to the second episode of Refreshing Thanksgiving. Last week we refreshed the Brussels sprouts for Thanksgiving, and this week we're going to refresh the green beans. I know that growing up and even till recent years there was always a green bean casserole on the Thanksgiving table. One that had green beans and it had mushrooms and a lot of gunky sauce that was really tasty. Maybe some cheese. In fact, to this day, my friend Julie comes over on some of the holidays that we have here at our house to celebrate with her green bean casserole, and it is yummy, I will say. So thank you, Julie. But I wanted to take a little refresh to the green beans this year and do something a little bit different, using some of the same parts, but freshening it up a bit. So it's going to be a really simple, easy recipe today. See, no Vitamix, no food processor, just yourself. That's always what I dread when I go to boot camp in the morning and Diane says to us, nope, we're not going to need any equipment today except yourself. And then you go, uh-oh, we are in for a tough one. So anyway, what I've got here is I put the recipe in half because there really are going to probably be only two of us, but the recipe calls for 2 pounds. So I've got 1 pound of green beans, fresh green beans that I got at the farmer's market. And what I did with them is I trimmed them up, each bean, and cut them in half. So you can see those there, I think, pretty well. Trimmed them up, cut them in half, and then I blanched them. And what does blanching involve? Well, it means taking a pot like this, right here, filling it about halfway up with water, bringing it to almost a boil, popping the green beans in for less than a minute until they just start to turn bright green, like you have here, and then pulling them out right away into a bowl of ice water. That shocks the green beans and stops them from getting all, continuing to cook, because if they continue to cook, they'll get soft instead of these still have a great crunch to them. So here we have our 1 pound of trimmed, blanched, shocked green beans. These are good. I'm not going to throw that back in. I might have someone else eating them with me. And then we didn't want to leave the mushrooms out, so what I did here is I have some Cremini mushrooms sliced that I sauteed up in a little bit of olive oil. So there comes the mushroom part. And Cremini mushrooms, you can use white mushrooms if you want. You can use whatever mushrooms you desire. But I like the way that the Cremini look in there for the fall colors. And then to spark it up just a little bit of color to it, I've got 1 red pepper that's been charred, sliced in julienne. You can also get these roasted red peppers at the store in a jar, but what I did is I took a red pepper, put it out, as if you know where my barbecue is, but it's out in the backyard. I barbecued it till it got black, brought it in, let it cool off a little bit. Some people put them in paper bags they say it's easier to take the skin off. I just left mine in a bowl for a few hours, quite honestly, because I had to run out to do a few things. I came back, I peeled it, sliced it up on this julienne just like this. I have a little bit of the juice from it as well. Put those in there, just like that. And this is what it looks like before it's tossed, right? We've got really nice Thanksgiving, I guess you could almost say Christmas as well, colors here. Then I've got my olive oil. In this case, I've got 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Just drizzle it over. We're not going to bother to shake it first. And then I chose here, I've got 1.5 tablespoons of vinegar. You can use whatever vinegar you choose. I chose not to use a dark one this time because I really wanted to keep the lightness of the colors. So I'm using a white balsamic vinegar here. Pouring that over the top. Little bit of pepper and salt. Just a couple pinches. Let's see, a little bit of sea salt here. A couple pinches, depending on your family's desires. Then we're going to just toss this around. Excuse my hands, but I'm really a hand tosser. for the most part, I really like to just toss things with my hands because it just works out better. But I thought, oh, I'm on camera. I should really just use a spoon. But at the end of the day, tossing by hand works just as well if you ask me. All right, so this is the salad, plain and simple and really pretty. A nice fresh look to it, a nice refresh look to it. And then we're gonna go ahead and garnish it with some olives. Olives of your choice, make sure the pits are out first. In this case, I'm using those, what I call kids olives, because Arlene, my spouse, it's the only olive she likes, and she's proud of it, as a matter of fact. But for myself, if you have like different olive people in your house, and you want to be able to give them the choice, you could just have a little bowl of of the calamatas here, and a little bowl of the kids' olives here, a little bowl of green olives over there. The only thing I ask you to do is make sure there are no pits in it, because nobody likes to bite down on a pit, especially on Thanksgiving, when all the dentists are at their Thanksgiving table as well. So that's what we have for today. This really, I think, very pretty, refresh green bean uncasserole to dress up your Thanksgiving table and bring some yum to your life. So my wish for you this week, as it is every week, is to be joy in your own kitchen. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you next time. Thanks.